Hello YouTube, it's Natefades. In this video I'll be showing you how to do a modern comb over taper fade, broken down and explained by myself. Remember, success is never given. Love, sacrifice, and hard work are needed in order to succeed. Keep working. Don't stop until you get there. Please leave a like, a comment, and definitely share this with your friends. I would really appreciate that. Enjoy. Here I'm assessing and making sure I know exactly what my client wants. Make sure they leave happy. Ask questions, but also give your opinions on what you think. Remember, your opinion matters in this situation. First, I start with a 3 wall guard. I am cleaning out my canvas, that way I can begin my taper. For those of you just starting, I recommend to do your parting first and part your sections and then take off the hair. The only reason why I didn't is because I'm very familiar with the hair and with the sections. I know where they go and I know where they're going to end. Notice also my strokes. I am flicking with the clipper. I am trying to avoid creating any new hard lines. Being very soft in hair cutting is essential. Notice how I'm doing the exact same thing on this side as I did the other side. Be very careful with how high you go though, because you don't want to go too high. Remember, you want to keep bulk in those upper areas to make the fade look more urban. Next, I will bald out my taper. Do this for the sides and the back and make sure that your lines are straight. This part right here is your backbone. If this part isn't straight, then the taper or the fade might not be straight as well. So definitely emphasize on this area right here as one of your more important areas. And for those of you that are wondering, I'm using the Andis BGRs with a 5/0 blade. A 5/0 blade is technically as short as a trimmer would go down to, but a little bit bigger. So I like to use it because it knocks down the hair a little bit easier. Next I go in with an almost closed lever, about 1/4 inch over my last guideline. Using lever play, I use that to delete some of the dark areas. Also notice this part and take very good detail in it. This area is one of the more important parts of the taper or of the fade, so make sure that this part's clean. And when I'm talking about lever fade, I'm talking about the process of moving the lever back and forth, up and down, trying to emphasize on these little small details. And then I follow that step with an open lever and go about 1/2 inch over that last guideline. Notice every single stroke is a flicking motion. This is a big part of barbering, and if you emphasize on this area, I guarantee your fades will come out clean. Throughout the process of cutting hair, also keep in mind that you want to keep the hair combed out. The reason why I say this is because over time when you're cutting hair falls off of the hair and falls onto the canvas. You want to make sure that it's clear and open as to what you're doing. Next step would be a 1/2 guard on the wall, halfway open on the lever. You want to go 1/2 inch over your previous guideline to create a new type of transition. Also notice how I stretch the skin. The reason why I do this is to create more of a cleaner image on what I'm trying to take out. This is all detail work. Over time you'll get better at this and you'll find your own way of doing it. This is just my way. Then repeat these steps for the sides of the haircut. Balding, almost closed lever, open lever, detail lever play, and half lever with half guard. These are all going to be interchangeable within every fade or every taper, whatever it is that you do. So keep in mind to emphasize on understanding the measurements. Also, everyone, I apologize for my camera going in and out of focus. It was getting focused a lot on my hand and the clipper, not so much my client. For the future videos, it's going to be focused on my client. It was just a little bit of a difficulty with the technical side, but in the future it'll be better. So I apologize for that. For some additional detail work, I go in with the Andes Masters with the zero guard. Just lightly touch the taper and get all those dark areas that I see out. With the same clipper, I go a little higher on the top of the previous guideline with the one about a half or a quarter higher than the last previous guideline. You'll see that in this next step. Right now I'm still doing detail. If you also notice, my touch is very soft. I'm not digging the clipper into my client's head. I'm just being very light with it and going with the flow of his hair. And the same thing goes for the other side. I'm stretching out the hair and being very light with it. You can see the blend starting to develop. With cutting hair, keep in mind that no exact way is the right way of cutting hair. It's all on you and how you approach the process. You decide what and what not to use, but it should be your personal process. I line up the nape area of his neck, making sure that I'm straight and that I'm not pulling out his lineup or pulling in his lineup. Be light, but also be sharp. Not only using behind the ears, but also with his sideburns, be sure you use the corner of your trimmers in order to get the best and most shape. And you're going to repeat the process for the other side. And now I'm preparing the hair for a scissor trim. I'm going to be wetting the hair evenly, and I'm also using my hands to saturate the hair all the way through. Then I make a part on the top of the hair to establish the comb over and establish a natural part. Holding the hair at a slight angle allows for the hair to stay thick on the upper portion and also have a blend from the bottom portion. The higher areas need to be thicker, but they also need to be cleanly blended. So this is why I do this. I use point cutting to create a nice blend with a textured shape up look and also a nice style with the texture. And this will be done all around the head on all of the areas that need to be blended. For my specific client, he hadn't gotten a haircut in a few months, so this was a very mandatory thing to be doing. Something you'll get better at over time is the scissor comb. It's what I'm doing right here. This process is a little bit more for intermediate to advanced barbers or hair cutters, but this process is crucial for making a fade or making a very urban fade look good. Next, I come back in with the 2-guard wall. The reason why I do this is to blend the area that I just blended out with the taper and the 3 that I had established earlier, so they have a little bit more of a better transition. Also, 2 with the clipper of a comb acts as a safety net, making it a lot less likely for a mistake. This also helps with making the hair look thick but still blended. The 2 is a very good cheat code that I didn't only just learn recently, but something that I would recommend to you all to use. Then with some thinning shears, I thin out the areas that look a little too thick for my pleasing. This is all opinion, and this is something that you'll develop over time. Just trust the process and make sure that you're getting clean cuts. Using my Dyson, I clean off my client and also dry off his hair. While drying off his hair, I want to establish a pattern as to where his hair is going to be going or where I want it to go. So whenever you're blow drying your client's hair or blow drying a friend's hair or whatever it is, be sure you blow dry it in the direction that you would like it to end. Then I go on to reestablish this part. That way I can blend the rest of that part with the thinning shears. Then once I get the thinning out to my pleasing, I'm going to be going back, doing some detail work and making sure my lines look clean. I'm also going to be doing the line up on the sides, being very light with it and not pulling the hair back. Notice how I'm using the clipper and I'm only using the corners. The reason why I do this is because it adds for a little bit more detail. He also mentioned at the beginning of the cut that he didn't want his front line up touched, so we're leaving that the way it is and letting it grow out. A big part of barbering is straight razor. With this, you want to be sure that you know how to do this, having the right strokes, and having the right angle. Straight razor work is important in a modern day haircut. In this area right here, I'm just cleaning over the ears, stretching the skin, and taking out the hairs that I can. Then using an electric razor, I will go around the nape area and clean out the area until it's razored out. All these small little details play a huge role in your clients coming back to you. I definitely recommend that you do all these little details. They love it and they will definitely tip you for it. Before styling his hair, I apply some Hansafuku dry shampoo. This acts as an agent to clean the hair, and it also pulls out all impurities. It also helps to create a matte finish. Then I go on to shape his head and make sure that I have those parts and also the style established before I put in product. Next, using Claymation Hansafuku, I'm going to be applying a small amount to his hair and starting to create his style. For this specific style, being it's an urban view, he's going to be going for a nice little comb over with the natural part and a messy look on the top. Kind of pompadour, but not too high. When it comes to styling, be sure that the hairstyle looks good. Take your time. Point out things that you don't like and fix them, correct them, adjust them. Be sure that that client leaves with exactly what they wanted. Again, I want to apologize for the camera difficulties, but I do hope that this video taught you a thing or two. Please subscribe for more content, more tutorials, vlogs, and music coming your way. Stay tuned, everyone. Thank you again.